What is going on, YouTube? I'm back with episode 7 of my Minnesota Timberwolves Association. And first thing first, I want to apologize about my voice and the length of this video. I'm battling a sickness, as some of you guys know. It's really affecting my tonsils, so sometimes it makes it difficult to talk or I just sound funny. So I don't want to talk for too long or really make this video any longer than I need it to be. So it's only going to be about 7 minutes long. We are taking on the Houston Rockets, and if you guys missed the last episode, be sure to check that out. But just to give you a quick recap of what's going on, we're about 20 games from the NBA playoffs, and we're taking on a Rockets team, if you saw in the beginning of the video, has one less win than us and one more loss. So we are one game ahead of them in 7th place in the Western Conference. And the Western Conference in my association is just absolutely stacked. There's teams just all 2-3 games apart from 2nd to 8th place. It is just completely stacked up and down, so by the end of the season we could be up in as high as the 3rd or 2nd spot, or we could be as low as the 8th spot. After this game, I did simulate a few games and we did clinch a playoff position, which didn't surprise me because we were 3 wins away from clinching a playoff spot while in this game. So with about 20 games left on the schedule, it's not a surprise we did clinch a playoff position. But what we are fighting for in this game is where we're going to be in the playoffs. We could be as high as the 2nd seed and play somebody like the Portland Trailblazers in the first round, or we could be a 5th seed and go ahead and play Oklahoma City in the first round. But the thing is that really doesn't really matter because the teams are so spread out. We can end up being a 3rd seed and play the San Antonio Spurs in the first round, or we could be the 6th seed and play the Trailblazers in the first round. So it really doesn't matter what seed we get, but I would like to get home court advantage. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. This may be the last regular season game I do play because I do want to play a lot of the playoff games and really show a lot of footage from those games. So with Next Generation right around the corner, I'm thinking I go ahead and make this my last regular season game, and hopefully we can pull out a pretty big W. You guys saw in the first half. So far we're going back and forth. Each teams are playing good. I did want to get Pekovic more involved. As you see, he does make Dwight Howard pick up his 4th foul very early in the 3rd quarter. But right now we're playing like the Los Angeles Clippers, which isn't a bad thing. We're playing very good as of late. We're scoring a ton of points, and that trade for Evan Turner made our offense even better. And I know some people weren't really upset, but they're saying that trade doesn't really make sense in real life. Well, it's a trade they are currently trying to do right now, but I don't think they want to get rid of Brewer in the trade. I think they would just give up a 1st-round pick and somebody else, but it's decided to give up Brewer because in 2K Brewer is just kind of average at everything. He doesn't really give you much on either side of the floor, whereas in real life he is a pretty good defender. Just the other game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, he had 6 steals, 2 against Kyrie Irving, and we know Kyrie Irving, one of the best ball handlers in the game, and when you're able to give him some trouble, you're obviously a pretty elite defender. So Corey Brewer in real life doing his thing on the defensive side of the ball, but in 2K I did trade him for Turner, which definitely gives us a lot better scoring opportunity. So we're playing Houston Rockets. We are going back and forth like I was saying, but I kind of want to talk about the Timberwolves in real life. They are sitting at 3-2 right now. They did start off 3-0. They beat the Orlando Magic in their home/season opener, 120-115 by just 5 points. In my first association video against the Magic, we beat them on a buzzer beater by 3 points. So that was pretty close. And then when a lot of people started talking about Timberwolves this year was when they came out and absolutely destroyed Oklahoma City Thunder. I know they were without Russell Westbrook, but I still thought it was a pretty surprising win because they were up by over 30 points in the 3rd quarter. End up going to win by 19, 100-81. Then they went on to beat the Knicks, 109-100. And I think people thought that was a big win, but it doesn't look quite as big now as the New York Knicks lately have just been not good. Carmelo Anthony isn't playing good. Tyson Chandler broke his leg out 4 to 6 weeks. So things are looking good for the Knicks. Then Timberwolves went on to lose 2 games in a row by 1 point to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which they actually came back, outscored them by like 24 points in the 4th quarter, but still lost. And then they lost to a very good Golden State Warriors team. So Timberwolves sitting at 3-2. Kevin Love has been playing very well as of late, but he actually could be playing better. A lot of people are talking about how right now he could be a candidate to win the MVP. He's averaging 26.2 points per game and 14.6 rebounds, but he's only shooting 28% from 3-point range. So if he gets that up to about 35 or 40, where he is most years on average, he will be just absolutely dominating out there. His 2-point field goal percentage is a lot better a lot of seasons, Some people complain he's kind of a volume scorer that dips below 40%, but right now he's shooting actually over 50%. Kevin Martin, he was talking very highly of the team. He's averaging an astounding 22 points per game. Corey Brewer, like I was saying, doing stuff on the defensive side. The third leading scorer on the team at 13 points per game. He's also averaging 2 steals and a block. Then you got Ricky Rubio averaging 3.4 steals per game, which is amazing. He's averaging 9 assists. He's also averaging around 9 points per game. And then you have other players like JJ Barea and Derek Williams. So kind of like my association, Timberwolves kind of balanced scoring with Kevin Love leading the way. Pekovic averaging about 11 and 10 in real life, which is about what he averages in my association. So it is pretty similar. The only difference is Muhammad in real life, he really isn't playing at all. He's only playing like 4 or 5 minutes a game. He's really struggling to get going. I know he was just a tad bit injured, but he definitely hasn't been playing well. Whereas my association, he comes off the bench. He's actually a very good scorer. So you see us going against the Houston Rockets, like I was saying. But there's 5 minutes left in the game. We are starting to pull away. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Kevin Martin is just playing lights out. He ends up hitting a 3-pointer here to put us up 14 points. We would go on to win. The Houston Rockets had a pretty weird starting lineup. They started Aaron Brooks, and he did some work. He had 25 points. But Kevin Martin, for us, 44 points. That's the most points I've ever scored with a player on Hall of Fame. Not even times I've played with Durant or Kobe I've scored that much, but he was 17 of 25 shooting and 7 of 9 from downtown. So he played amazing. Pekovic also played a very good game. He had a double-double. So we had a very good game against the Houston Rockets. This is definitely a huge game for us. It gives us a tiebreaker against them. It puts us 2 games ahead of them in the Western Conference. And you can see we shot 16 of 34 from 3. At one point we had like 5 or 6 threes in a row in the third quarter. So when we're playing like that, we are going to be hard to beat. And you can see we are currently sitting at 5th place in the Western Conference. Hopefully we can get into that 4th spot and get home court advantage. I'm sorry about my voice in this video, but I appreciate you guys watching it. Please comment whatever you feel down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.